So I just came back from my trip to Milan, and what I expected to be yet another Italian city ended up being so much more. Every cafe, every street, every building, everything there just felt deliberate. Nothing's loud or trying too hard, but it still just leaves an impression. There's this guy on TikTok I keep seeing whose whole account is about aesthetic alternatives to everyday items. So he'll just take normal, everyday household items and he will show you the elevated design-led versions of them. And that's kind of what Milan felt like for me, just everyday life, but done better, cleaner, more refined. Now, for those of you that have read my book, The Profit Formula, you guys will know I am very data-driven. Everything to me is numbers, systems, and structure, and that's how I built my agency as well, and how I approach every campaign and every client. But recently I've been reading more about branding, the psychology behind why people choose certain products. One book that really shifted my perspective is How Brands Grow by Byron Sharp. And I'm still reading it, so go easy on me. But while I was in Milan, I started to see those ideas play out in real life. I mean, take the Duomo Milano, for example. That took almost 600 years to finish. Different architects spanning over multiple generations, all just focused on the one goal. There's no shiny object syndrome, no Black Friday madness, just steady progress on something that they knew would just be admired for centuries and centuries to come. And that's probably the first lesson that Milan taught me, which is craftsmanship beats speed. So in marketing, everyone's chasing quick wins, the next hook, the next hack, the next viral ad. But the brands that endure aren't built on those tactics. They're built on refinement, the small, consistent improvements that just compound over time. The second lesson is identity as a strategy. In Milan, everything just feels cohesive, from the architecture to the fashion. And the same applies to brands. When your visuals, your tone and values align, people will recognize you instantly. And that's what creates lasting attention. That's how I think at Brandpreneur. Our focus isn't just about scaling your ad spend as quickly as possible. It's on building brands that feel inevitable, where every touch point reinforces the same feeling of trust and quality. And then there's Lake Como. So we spent the day there just to break up the Milan trip, and it's just got this old money kind of energy. It's quiet, composed, effortless. Nothing there is trying to impress you, but everything just does. And that's how timeless brands feel. They don't demand attention, they just kind of get it. When I was checking out of the hotel, one of the staff who'd been helping us sort of all week, he slipped me his card. And it wasn't the same one that, with the details that you see on the website or the one that you get at check-in, etc. It had his personal contact details on it. And he smiled and said, the next time you guys come back, reach out to us through this and we'll take good care of you. And that was also the third lesson for me. Loyalty is built, not bought. So in Milan, they understand lifetime value, without even ever having to mention it. It's not about getting that initial sale in, or in this case, getting the initial person to book the hotel room. It's about earning that return visit. And the same applies for online, right? Your real growth comes from how you treat people after they buy, not just before. So yeah, I came back from Milan with a stronger appreciation for the art of branding, because data matters, it always will. But what truly separates the good brands from the timeless ones is how they blend both sides. So logic and emotion, precision and presence. Data will give you the direction, but the brand will give it the meaning. And Milan just reminded me of the fact that both matter. So one will drive performance, the other will build permanence.